Hey, folks, just a friendly reminder that all shows on the Madness Comic Network are produced by their individual hosts and in no way reflect the opinions of the network as a whole. The statements in the following broadcast are not necessarily the opinions of the Madness Comic Network, its staff, sponsors, or contributors. This show is rated TVMA, as are all of them and all those other letters. Viewer discretion is highly advised, and, just do what Doc says. Read that again. Peace, everyone.
Comic books and graphic novels, including Nightmare World, Tales of Mystery, Brave but Not Dead, all kinds of stuff. And I am super excited for you because you are getting to watch right now, right this moment, out of all the things we're going to be doing, you're getting to enjoy and revel in the Madness Comic Network. And that is awesome. Thank you for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks of all ages, welcome to the premiere edition of the Comic Artist Hour with your host, Mr. Les Garner.
Hey, y'all. Sucking down that coffee, man. That's a thing. So, this would be the I guess, what's the word for it? The inaugural episode of the Comics Artist Hour and Comic Artist Hour. I'll be doing some artwork on the stream. Be joined here momentarily by my friend, compadre in a number of projects, a gentleman who is a longtime publisher, artist, writer, and creative in his own right, my buddy Charles D. Moisant. And what we're going to be doing on this show is bringing you every week a look at all kinds of different facets of the art that goes into comics, how to do it. Oftentimes I'll be drawing, doing different things, drawing. Sometimes I may venture over into the collectible side, do some live 3D sculpting, because I also do that stuff too. We'll be talking about different projects, different aspects of production. Be a lot of real educational stuff on here about comics. Probably from time to time, maybe picking things that we really like and then going through and doing like a deep dive analysis of it into what makes it really good. Some artists, different page layouts, different styles of how they approach their line work, so on, things like that. So there's a lot of different stuff that we're going to cover. And I think, we're treating this as a very open-ended sort of deal where we'll just be dealing with comic book art every week. From time to time, we'll plan on having different folks who we know and love throughout the industry maybe pop on for interviews. And hopefully, one of the things I'm hoping that we'll eventually start doing is from time to time get other artists to come on and do live jam sessions of art where we'll all pick a thing and start drawing our version of the same thing at the same time. Or what would be really cool is if we can come up with a method, which we're not doing this today, but come up with a way of, one person starts a sketch, then tosses it to another artist on the stream. They do something, and we bounce things back and forth. That would be a lot of fun. So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to add Charles D. Moisant into the room. Good morning, Charles.
Hello, how is everybody?
And I'm going to publicly state what I have told people at convention tables now for a couple of years.
Tell him.
Just tell her you can see the chat. Hush. Just tell her.
What's she talking about?
I don't know. She seems to think this ain't live or something. Just tell her hush. Tell her I said to hush.
Hello, good Carrie. This may not be live, but it could be undead. You're like,
so Mr. Charles here is a gentleman who I would call the human genetic hybrid of Doc Brown and Roger Rabbit.
Yes.
So
it's so much fun.
Oh, Carrie's digging on your beard, Charles.
Carrie is literally dancing around. Tee.
So before we get into things, I'm going to toss out a couple quick shameless plugs because, I got to make my living.
My mother was in Shameless, the TV show, season
that's hilarious.
Episode 1. So we could now figure out who's more shameless, but continue with your plugs.
Well,
Here, I got a plug.
Dude, I'm going to refrain from the terrible jokes that could come from that.
You're a naughty boy.
All I will say is plug it. All right.
So, real quick before you get started, Carrie made something that she wants me to show you.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Okay. You know how she's teasing us about our enunciation.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Horror.
Wait, what,
that was a thing the other day. We Pops and I were getting picked on for the way we say horror.
Hoarder?
Horror.
Oh, horror? Oh, it's a bunch of horror.
Yeah, she was teasing us about the way she says it, right? About the way we say it.
Really?
So then she went and made something.
Really?
Oh, God.
Okay, this is not a guitar. It's not a Les Paul.
Okay. Oh, wait.
It's a Les Pops. It's a Les Pops.
Les Pops.
It's a seal. Or.
You know what? That gets my seal of approval.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Okay, now I'm going to leave you alone. Have fun doing your show. Carrie?
All right.
There you go. I showed it to him.
We should add instead of pops.
That's funny shit.
Oh,
So,
I could hack into anything, but I'm not going to.
What are you joking about?
Nothing.
Oh my God. Seal.
Yes, it's a real seal. That's the deal. But
Woo.
don't treat it
All
like
right.
you want to peel.
All right.
Because then when you peel it, it becomes an eel.
Back on the rails.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Make your announcements less.
I'm gonna mention real quick and let's run this little banner down here. So right now, just before popping on here, I was notified that our Kickstarter going on right now for Homestead comic that I've done with Dirk Manning. It's graphic novel, I shouldn't say, because it's 100 plus page book at this point. Just crossed the 18K mark. 18K on that Kickstarter. So that means we have now unlocked all the stretch goals that we had up. That means that thanks to all the folks who have backed this thing, I now get my book with its fine gilded silver edges on the page. Oh my God, you nard. So I'm gonna do that. There we go. I'm gonna pull you back for a second, Charles, while I talk about this. So we've managed to cross 18K in 2 weeks. Or just north of 2 weeks. We have got 12 days left. 12 days left in this campaign. And I'm blown away with how well this thing is done. It's been a really great performing campaign. Love the book. I think we've got some special things. I'm going to leave that for Dirk to talk about later today sometime. Got some special stuff planned for, I'm thinking there's another round of stretch goals coming. So I hope so. And if one isn't already planned, we're going to come up with something to reward everybody for helping push us even further than this. We've crossed the 18K mark, blown through 2 big rounds of stretch goals, and this thing's hot. So thanks to everybody for doing that. Everybody's watching. If you haven't, go check it out. There's a banner running underneath here that I think has the URL in it for homesteadcomic.com. So there's that. So, and now I'll bring Charles back up. So, Mr. Charles.
Yes, I got the silver to start melting to gild the pages.
God, you nard. He's hilarious. So, that in mind, I'm going to toss out one more shameless plug. And actually, give me a second. I'm going to pull up some stuff here to be able to show some things for this. Let's see. Oh, where are we going here? And let's go. Okay. Yeah, I know. Tweet. So let me do a quick little thing here where I bring this up. Y'all forgive me because I am just getting used to this. That's why I figured this first one might be a little bit
it's more fun this way.
A little bit clunky. No, it's not. Here we go.
I think it is. Right, Carrie?
All right. So let's add that on here.
Whoa.
And what I'm showing you folks is artwork.
Oh my gosh.
From
incredible.
An awesome new project that we've got going that is an H.P. Lovecraft inspired tarot deck that involves stories that I've been writing off and on for about 30 years now.
30
years.
That's
then so this whole thing is a tarot deck based around a character of mine named Dr. Horace Van Meter, who is from my corner of the Lovecraftian lore. with the tarot deck, we're going to be doing an art book, possibly a graphic novel to go with it, a whole bunch of different stuff. And right now, we do have the beginnings of the website. There's more stuff coming, but the website for this is up at hplovecrafttarot.com if you want to go check it out. I'm going to cycle through a little bit more of this artwork, and then we'll get on with the show. Show you guys some of the stuff. I'm going to take a quick riff through this.
Hey, that's Pops.
There you go, Pops.
How'd you get in our tarot card set, or less tarot card set? That's impressive. Oh, that one keeps me out. That's me with a lot.
Yeah, that one, the yig always messes with Charles.
Yeah, like, ugh.
So that's just a quick look at that.
For that guy.
That takes you. Oh man, I stopped on the hangman.
I'm gonna do.
There we go.
Oh,
the big boy.
He's reaching out for some licorice and candy.
So yeah, these are. This is something I've been working on for a few months. It's a lot of artwork to it. I really like that one with the eldest. She's not. And of course, the man himself, the creator, which this is actually a bonus card that's added to the deck.
Yes.
Called the Creator for H.P. Lovecraft. And yeah, so please, by all means, go check that out. We've had a lot of folks really interested in the shows we've been doing lately. So, and on that note, I'm going to pull back from it.
Yes.
And let's kill that window.
Hey, Les?
Yeah.
Can I do a shameless plug too?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This is a shameless plug. I don't work. I'm terrible.
So yeah, you're more like a shameless butt plug sometimes. All right.
Okay. No, but the thing that's just really fun about the tarot card set that you're doing is how synergistic it came together. Where I literally was thinking, boy, what is a fun project we could do? I want to pitch Les on a tarot card set. And then when I go there to Les is like, Charles, I'd like to talk to you about something. What about a tarot card set? And we're both like, oh my God, wait a second.
Wow.
And then it just started going together. And I even thought of some other things to put into it, which is even more wild. But very soon we're going to have the landing page ready. And we're not going to show it now, but there will be a secret chaser card that you can get only by joining the secret society. And we'll tell you more about it, but we won't reveal too much now. But I see that there's something really neat up, Les. It looks like some splotches of color, and there's a mouse moving around. Can you explain what you're going to be doing with your brilliance?
This is so I popped up a window from. I need to buy Pops. Looks like I just got a message from Pops. Looks like he might be kind of out of here for a minute.
No.
So I'm going to pop back over into Clip Studio Paint.
He's looking at you by ourselves.
And
so if I may ask a technical question about Clip Studio Paint,
sure.
What got you involved with it? And I heard some rumors about some secret code. Well, you know what? We'll save that for later with the secret code. But I heard, so here you have this interface. How is it like Photoshop? How is it different than Photoshop? How is it superior to Photoshop? And how does it fail compared to Photoshop? If you don't mind talking about that.
Well,
or do you want to?
I'll probably end up talking about Clip Studio quite a bit from time to time because I really like using it when I'm doing live streaming of artwork. And I actually do. I do probably 75 or 80% of the comics that I pencil them digitally in here.
Wow.
And then I'll print those digital pencils as blue lines on illustration board and then ink that traditionally.
Okay.
Because there's so many reasons for it, and as I'm working in here from time to time, you'll get to see some of that. So like I really like the way the interface of Clip Studio is set up.
Yeah.
Like this, I have customized it, and that's the thing I like about it is that it's incredibly customizable.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, I have this workspace is customized, and I can transfer this workspace from my big Cintiq environment over to my iPad.
Yes.
And everything will transfer back and forth between here and my iPad just fine.
Yes.
So anything I do at my desk in Clip Studio, I can do, you know, on the road.
So you got a double Mac system, so your Mac shares with your iPad. Is that your setup, or
no? It's well, built into Clip Studio is the Clip Studio Cloud, and if you're using the Pro version, which I am, then with the cloud, once you save something, there's this. Well, I don't have this set up to show the other window.
Right.
There's a manager window that will open, and you can send a project to your cloud, and then from whatever other device you're using, just have it synchronize it.
So it does. So it's actually cross compatible. That's neat.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't care which platform it is.
So are you more of a Mac guy, PC guy, or?
The only Apple I own an iPhone and an iPad, and never shall an Apple machine grace my desk. Thank you. I am an old school PC guy. I build my own computers.
Oh, that's fun.
I just, you know, bang for your buck. You can get so much more that way. So I'm going to start doing some doodling in here real quick. And you'll see, like, I have all kinds of tools up here. So these are all like little shelves.
Okay.
And so let's say that I made a new pencil in here.
Right.
Okay. I can open this, and this brings up, I can hide or show all the settings that I might want to hide or show.
Wow.
And then from inside here, let's just say let's go.
Now, what's the difference between Clip Studio Pro and Manga Studio Pro?
Well, Manga Studio no longer exists as that. Clip Studio was originally called Manga Studio, and they changed the name to Clip Studio Paint a long time ago.
Oh, that's what happened. Okay, because I never saw any more updates, and I always enjoyed the Manga Studio Pro, and just thought it was so neat.
So, like, I have this one pencil that I've set up. It says pencil all options. And that is like the baseline brush for me on probably 2/3 of anything I do.
Okay.
If I want to make a variation of that, I can right click it.
Yeah.
And then tell it to duplicate that subtool.
Okay.
And we'll just hit OK right there.
And
then from there, I'll go into its settings. So you see the stuff that's visible here.
Right.
If I go in here and say I want this to be a textured pencil, I can then tell it to make all these different things visible.
Oh my gosh.
I'll save those settings, and now all of that comes up.
Yes.
So then let's say from there, we want to add.
My name is Les Garner. I fly jets for a living. That's why Manga Studio Pro is easy, because jets have less knobs to do than Manga Studio Pro. Please.
So like where I'm going to pick a texture out of here and throw it into there.
Better than picking a nose.
The brush. And you can see.
Handsome.
Hopefully you can see.
Oh, yeah. Nice and blue.
Well, you should. I don't know how well it shows up on the screen, but there's actually a paper texture that should be showing up through there.
Oh, now I see it. So when you're doing it lightly, the paper texture shows. So that looks like a linen bond paper.
Yeah, you can.
Of course, Les Linen. That's your middle secret name.
Oh my God.
We'll call you LL Garner from now on. The famous LL Garner.
I'm going to turn up the texture density in here and see what we got going on with that.
All right. So how long does it sometimes take to like build up your settings until you're satisfied, or have you already built them up?
I mean, I've been using this for a long time, so I've got a lot of stuff.
Okay.
But there's also a marketplace through the manager app. There's a marketplace you can go to and people will sell and sometimes give away a lot of free tools and assets and things.
Oh.
And like say for this my main shelf over here of stuff, once I have settings made up for a new brush, let's come in here and let's pick something that really shows off.
Wow.
Shows up easy on the screen. We'll open the spraying effect. This is kind of handy.
By the way, did you know how Flip City got their name?
Oh God, what?
It's a law that everybody has to flip each other off when they wake up. Otherwise, you're arrested for 20 years.
I don't even understand.
Well, Flip City, flip.
I'm not understanding your joke, dude.
Well, it's in the banner. Yeah, if you look up, you see Mr. Big, Flip City, Laughing Rogue, Cindy. Those are the advertisers. Oh, that's neat.
Oh yeah, dude.
Wow. By the way, congratulations on the overcoming 1800.
Oh yeah, man. I'm very happy about that.
Reminds me of the tequila, 1800 tequila, except you got 18,000. So it'd be like 100 tequilas together.
Let's see here. I'm wondering why my particles aren't coming out as dense as I like.
Tell it to look at me, and then it'll become more dense.
Let's see here now. There's that. Some particle size, direction, spray deviation, particle density.
Kirby. Doc is producing backstage.
That's actually getting kind of to irritate me right there.
Oh, right. That and my droning voice. You'll get there because I
don't. That's really bothersome. That should be spitting out all kinds of particles there. I'll show you. Here's like what I'm trying to get it to do. I've already got set up in another brush.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, but what I was really trying to show is like if I duplicate a brush. So let's duplicate that tool for spattering, and then come in here. One of the things we can do, like where it's spraying all those little particles out there.
Yeah.
We can come in and choose, a different brush tip. So let's grab like some leaves.
Okay.
And then delete that. And then I can grab a whole bunch of different like shapes.
Wow.
Just add all those in, and it'll cycle through all of those.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn on the angle, direction, see brush density, leave off. Now we save that.
It's like better than a master class.
Then I come in here and so see, there's my particle density. So now you'll see.
Oh yeah.
That if I raise that particle size, you'll be able to see it real plainly.
Okay.
Okay.
Replaning is a term for changing the angle of the brush automatically.
Let's see, where is it? Like right here, angle. Right now, there's nothing affecting the angle. Okay. But if I set it to my pen direction,
right.
Now it's changing the angle with my direction of my pen. If I set it to tilt, it'll do that direction of the line. For something like leaves, I would set it to random. And you can actually use combinations of these.
Oh, that's impressive.
So, and if I hit delete, it'll just clear the layer.
That's for work of art for an art school student who would make it in the Art Institute.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks like a real tree.
So.
That's impressive.
Something like that.
Right.
It's just incredibly handy. Is that your phone?
Yeah. I thought music would be good.
Kill that with fire.
I'm killing it.
Kill it with fire.
Yes, sir. It is killed.
There we go.
It was a nice.
So we'll do something like this, and from time to time, depending on the situation, depending on how fast I've got to be working, sometimes I'll do pages. Sometimes I'll do my pages digital.
Okay.
So like if I were to, if I wanted to do this with ink, I could just take the same brush and then start a new layer and set it to monochrome. And you're going to get this like just absolutely perfect ink with it.
Yeah.
And I'm working right now at like 600 DPI.
Damn, that's huge.
So this is 11 by 17 at 600 DPI.
Yeah.
So I really dig that. I dig working at a high resolution like that because it allows me to do all kinds of, take my artwork different places.
Right.
So, and we can come back through. This is a good little example. One of my favorite techniques in ink is like how you can set up different layers of depth by how you work that ink. So like if let's make this really big.
Yeah.
Make these particles nice and huge here. Okay. So there's something like that.
Right.
Then if I take this, let's make the particles just a little bit smaller. Do something like that.
Now that's interesting. It looks almost like a psionic is rushing a bunch of leaves towards you, like a wave, like, and you're about to be pelted by all these leaves. And then a spell of hardening is done. So imagine them being like little knives going, and you're being cut to death with 100,000 cuts. Oh, the ringtone just for Kirby is neon on the Galaxy Note Ultra.
Oh, jeez. So, like, I might go in here and do, this is kind of a neat little trick.
That looked like a dragon.
Let me switch off to a regular pen.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw in a bunch of these, like, crazy, just kind of what seems like random lines.
Hey, that's a carrot. Isn't it amazing what you could do with silhouetting and how understanding silhouetting, you could really get the mind to react and to see things and interpret. There's actually a form of brain damage that can cause a loss of that type of recognition, which is
that would be painful to me.
Oh yeah, I mean, imagine one having a stroke, and that's what you lose is facial recognition or object recognition.
Well, I can definitely imagine the stroke part.
Yeah. What was interesting was I had a thing happen to me, and out of my left eye, I could not understand shapes of cars. Under my right eye, I was able to understand it. So I had to close my eye or think more of the left brain instead of right brain when driving because it was terrifying. And fortunately, I overcame it.
Huh.
Oh, that's like bunches of leaves. And that could be like the sun coming or a bird flying across about to eat. Talk about fun.
So let's come in here. So you'll see here in a second what I'm kind of building up to.
Yeah.
So there's these very kind of Rorschach test kind of shapes. But now I switch back off to these leaves, right?
Right.
I'll start in here with really, really big ones and kind of blast those into this area and then switch off to some white ones.
Yeah.
And use them in this extreme foreground. So now that feels really, really close.
Right.
Actually, I'm going to undo that and do it on a different layer, and you'll see why here in a second.
Oh, so yeah, very smart.
Now if I go up to another layer and I do this.
Now, what's really the advantage of doing other layers instead of what you're doing before?
Well, you'll see here in just a second.
Okay.
So let's say right now I do a layer where I'm working in this particular stuff here in the distance with smaller leaves. Okay.
Right.
Okay, so here we go. Here's this stuff. Let's fill in some of that. And then if I, so now I'm filling these in.
Right. Right.
If I make the brush wider, then it's going to have a wider spray pattern to it.
Okay.
And that's also the way I've got this set up. It's going to affect the size of the particles,
Right.
which is also affected by my brush pressure.
Yeah.
So like if I start very light, they're smaller. And when I push harder, they get bigger. Okay.
Interesting.
So here we've got all this stuff here, and I want these to seem a little closer. So I'm going to increase the size on some of this.
Right.
Here's all this stuff.
Wow.
Then now, if I add another layer here,
That feels like something normal that you would see in the bayou or just walking down through a forest. It just feels so
did you
natural.
say bayou? Bayou?
Yeah.
Bayou.
Bayou. I guess difference with pronunciations, huh, sir?
All right, now check
Or
this.
bayou.
It's
Bayou.
bayou.
Bayou? Well, is that
Ask a Cajun. That's how they don't say it.
Raging Cajun?
All right. So here, there's a thing you can turn on for layers that's an outline.
Oh, that's clever.
So like,
Oh,
if I put that in there, now the white ones that I put in here
yeah.
have lining around them.
This is what's amazing. It's only yes or no. It's that's so awesome. It's either yes, it's a black tone, or no, it's not black tone. And with how you control the binary settings on just black and white, the diversity of the foliage is quite impressive.
Yeah, and then the sizing of it and all that. Like if I go through here and spray in some white bits here and there.
Call you Lord Glass.
Say like I wanted to add the hint of light coming through here onto like this area. I might go to some smaller particles and then just kind of blast some stuff in there and blast a few little bits in there.
Right.
It's going to give that feeling of the different layers of a tree.
Yeah.
Being reached by light.
What was just madness is it almost looks like you solarized a photograph. That's how the mind is teaching it from seeing it to a black and white using chroma key with it. And you've literally built this organically. That is what is just awe-inspiring. I mean, my thought is don't erase this. I think we should make it available. Oh, and that's the advantage of layering.
And then having in the layers like that. Now, let's do something particularly interesting here. Let's go in here and add a layer in the back. Another one of these monochrome layers. And of course, I have a whole shelf here that's just for that's labeled outdoors tools.
Okay.
So let's say
now you designed these tools yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I'm going to make this grass in here kind of large.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Wow. If people do want to buy this at the end, we could save it and I can always print it.
Yeah.
Wow. And even though this may be just a fun throwaway, this is still a beautiful piece of art, and there may be people who may enjoy this. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too grifty with it on the stream.
No.
This is more about showing stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like there's added grasses and stuff in the back. Oh my God, there's so many tricks and so many things you can do in here.
I see a chicken hiding in the background.
You funny. Let's go in here. Let's find maybe another one of my brushes that I've got. Let's see, rough liner.
Yeah,
that's
rough liner.
So
now that's a birch tree.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's come in here. I'm gonna add another layer and just.
Hey, Les.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say, look at the little bitty flowers.
I don't like that. I don't like that. So, working, layers are a big deal because you can work non-destructively.
Right.
And that's kind of a big thing. So like if I take a regular, why are those showing up that way? That's really irritating me.
What's fascinating with the different layers is like this could just be wintertime and everything is covered in snow. You literally can almost have 4 seasons just by having layering.
So like, I do this kind of thing a lot for really detailed shots of trees. I end up, a lot of the books that I've been doing have a lot of nature stuff in them.
Yeah.
And everything that I do in here, I have a method of doing like traditionally. So
yeah.
It's all completely analogous.
Wow.
Now I'll show you one really neat feature about the ink engine in here that I like quite a bit. There's a thing that you can turn on most brushes that say sharp angles. Now, if I turn this off and I make those, you'll see how those little scrubby lines.
They are scrubby.
They've got kind of a soft little curve to them, like that.
Yeah.
If I turn this on, see how it sharpens those out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then so like you can really get this feeling of these kind of strokes, kind of feathered dagger stroke things that way. And so like on something like this, like a tree, if I do something like that, some scrubby strokes with that set on, then it very quickly gives me, that kind of result.
So what do you like about, sometimes we call it noodling for inkers, putting a lot of the little ticks and scratch marks. What do you enjoy about the noodling?
I like the look I get out of it. That's pretty much it. It's most of the stuff that I do is just, it's all about the end result.
Yeah. By the way, somebody's asking, how do you memorize all of this, all of that you can do with this program?
Well, practice.
Okay.
It really is. Most of it's a matter of just use. It's like I would say the best way to learn it is give yourself a task.
Yeah.
Give yourself a task to do, and don't let yourself move on to anything else until you accomplish that task.
Okay.
So that you'll force yourself to go through and learn the methodologies of the program. Now, this program is really similar to Photoshop with its layers, blend modes, and a lot of stuff, but it's also really, really different in some ways with the way this ink engine thing works.
Well, it's very vector from what I've been noticing.
Yeah, well, you can actually do like vector layers in here. I'll show you that real quick.
Yeah.
So if let's come in here and we'll right click and we'll say new layer. And so now I'll do a vector. I'll do a vector monochrome layer, right? So if I do a vector monochrome layer, let's say I draw a line, we'll do one right here. Okay.
Right.
So now that's vector.
Okay.
And I have a ton of these tools right out where I can get to them very quickly in my shelves.
Yes.
But all of these are available by drilling into the different categories of tools that are in the program. And personally, I think everybody has to like kind of end up going through different menus, explore the menus, find those things, and then take the stuff that you find that you can use or that's useful to you and make your own shelves with it. That's a big thing. So here I've got a vector line drawn.
Yes.
And I can go in here with, let's see, where's that? Set one's where I have this stuff.
Okay.
So if let's just do, look at control point. So now you can see the control points of one, boom.
Oh, that's the snake in the garden. Hello, eat my apple.
Eat my shorts, you saucy tart. So, there's one of the tools, the control point tool. You can see there's a redraw. So with redraw, if I turn up the simplify on it,
right,
then as I brush over it, it will try to follow the direction that I move the brush in.
I like the better ones when it was a mustache. So the foliage was in the skies, and we didn't know that it was foliage because of the mustache. We thought it was a person.
So then this would be the pinch tool.
Okay.
Pinch vector, and it's pressure sensitive.
Yeah.
To how large of an area it grabs.
Heartbeat of the forest.
Let's see. Redraw. Simplify. This one's kind of neat. Correct line width. Okay. So let's say I wanted this to be a very thin line.
Yeah.
I can turn on scale down the width.
Okay.
And right now I have it set to 0.10.
Wow.
And you see that as I brush over it, it will change that line width.
Oh, that's groovy.
And that's really, really handy if you're inking digitally. And let's say you've got a hold line around something that you need to change the thickness of to make it, bolder or recede more into the background.
Yeah.
If you're using vector lines with that, you can go back through and get really granular with how you change your lines.
Right.
I personally don't actually use that very much.
Okay.
Because it is very granular, and I'm much more comfortable with very traditional tools. And the way this stuff feels so traditional that, most of the time my line weight is my line weight as if I had done it on paper.
Now explain granular, because I've heard that term a few times, but it's like, well, grains of sand. And what's granular?
I'll use the term granular a lot of times for different things. Like I might say that something has a granular level of controls, which means you can go very detailed in how you mess with the brush.
Okay.
Or we can do granular, like that grass right there in the distance. That's a very granular detail. It's very fine, very small, minute, focused, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's as opposed to a large stroke, which I had one of. So I just, kill all that for a second.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to come back in here and change it to a pencil.
Okay.
And then the way I tend to work in here is I'll have a blank layer set to either color or gray. And then I'll turn this little guy on right here as layer color. And what that does, by default, it's set up so that if you're drawing in black with a black pencil, it'll change it to what's the word? It will change it to a non-repro blue colors.
Okay.
That's the default, though you can change those at any time.
That first piece you did, could you turn that into a non-repro blue and give it to somebody to ink it just to see their interpretation?
Yeah. So like something, sometimes I might actually do my penciling like this using these kind of tools. And then we can take all of this stuff and put it inside a folder like that.
Yeah.
Where'd that folder? There you are. And then take the folder and turn it non-repro blue.
Oh, look at that.
And then, like, if this were something I were penciling and I were doing my foliage to pencil, I might actually draw. This might actually be my pencils for a forest scene.
Right.
And then I'd put it all together like that, drop the opacity down real low with it in non-repro blue, and I'd send this to my printer to print that on an illustration board and then come out and ink it. And as far as inking goes, I mean, if I were going to ink it in here, which I don't have to right now because it's already in there, but if I were, say I received these as pencils, I might throw them in here, fire up a new layer, and then come in and I find that on the size tablet that I use, if I go to 25%, right about there is actually almost 1-to-1.
Okay.
To an 11 by 17 board.
Oh, that's clever.
So this, like if I hold an 11 by 17 board up to my monitor,
Right.
this is actually going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
So then from here, I'll go in and,
Right.
And I love the way this pen that I've developed here, which is based off of their default G pen.
Right. He said G.
The way that this reacts to my hand is incredibly natural.
That's impressive. And here's what's really interesting is organically you use their tools to put together a piece, and then you could change it and then organically put in finite details so that it really has a sensuous piece of just flow and beauty. I mean, that this is awe-inspiring just seeing this. And I need to state to the general public, we are not being sponsored by a Koepp studio. This is just tools of the trade. And we just love this stuff, and we just want to share our knowledge, what we know within the industry, to maybe help you improve your skills or get an aha moment, improve, because this is stuff we love. This makes us very happy just to be doing this. And our hope is to share at least 1 hour a week with all of you out there, and we all grow synergetically. Maybe we meet each other at conventions, hang out, but just I know I'm stumbling on my words, but the amount of joy just seeing this, it's meditative and relaxing, and I can't thank less enough for being willing to do this. And of course, Pops, we have to bow to him for his greatness on that. Now, zoom out. I'd like to see how that would look as a...
Here in just a second, once I get a little bit further into this, I'll show you a couple of little neat production tricks with this that I really like.
Okay.
I'm not really sticking super close to the lines here. I'm just using them as a basic guide. Yeah. So let's say I'm going to turn on this color here and change this to, let's change that to a red, and then let's change the white to something we can see really clearly, like a green. Okay.
Yeah.
So now you notice there's no white in there, so the white change didn't do anything.
Right.
Okay. Watch this. So I'm going to take a lasso.
Yeah.
Go around that area, and then I'm going to hit this thing that says advanced fill.
Advanced fill.
And I have this set because this is how I always use it, to use the sub drawing color to fill blank pixels.
Okay.
So it's going to take my white right there.
Yeah.
And it just filled those pixels with that white.
Right.
So like if I turn that off, there you go. There's that. So then from here, I also like the little bar here because especially since I'm working one-handed these days, it's one of the things that helps me not be constricted by the inability to use key commands.
Okay. Right. That's right, because you had to go through a life-changing scenario, and you've been recovering amazingly.
Yeah, a year ago I had a double stroke that, my left arm is still recovering from it, so I can't really use key commands right now for things which normally would be a big thing. So one of the things that I've done with adapting is like, and this is something I like much better in here than Photoshop, is that in Koepp Studio, I can literally change the key command, the functions of anything. It's way more customizable. And so like on my Cintiq, on a Cintiq, the pen has a button on the side that can go forward or back. So typically I use the back function as a right click and the forward function as a middle click. It's pretty common. But in Koepp Studio, that middle click is panning. So where normally I would hold the space bar, click and drag, I don't have to do that. I can just middle click and go.
Okay.
And then instead of having to like hold the R key down to rotate, I have this set up so that my back click allows me to rotate. So literally just the one hand, I can pan, rotate.
Yeah.
And if I need to zoom, I have pedals on the floor that have certain key commands hooked to them. It's like right now, my left foot is holding my control key, and I can control plus or minus just like in Photoshop.
Wait. You just said pedals? Explain
that. When I had the stroke, of course, I was left side paralyzed for about, initially, and I had to go through, good Lord, like 6 weeks of physical therapy and inpatient garbage and all that kind of crap. So before I got home, I had done some research and found a source for some pedals that I could get a hold of that were just blank. They had no coding to them. And you would hook them up to a device via USB. Yeah. And you could code into them the signals that they would send.
Wait,
and
you're coding too?
So I coded out these pedals to be different key commands. So there's like 6 pedals on the floor.
Yeah.
My feet move across those the entire time I'm working. So there's all kinds of different ways that works out.
Okay.
But I mean, essentially, it's just the same as somebody using key commands.
Right.
I'm just doing them with my feet.
Right. You're kind of like the abominable Dr. Phibes at the organ.
You said organ. Terrible. So anyway, like the way that I would use this particular technique, say I've drawn these lines and then I want to get something filled in there. I've made a selection around it. Then I've hit advanced fill and filled it in. Then I'll come back with a magic wand, and they have a thing in here. This is something else that's different from Photoshop that I'm like, Adobe, you not having this is stupid.
Yeah.
This thing called close gap. So like if I see if I can find a good spot here and zoom in on it. Wow. So if I have close gap turned on, and turned all the way up, and I click with the wand inside here, you can see that area is really goes on through here, but it knows that that's a gap.
Right.
And it'll only select into there. But now if I deselect, and let's go the opposite way, and I turn close gap all the way down or off, then that's basically the tolerance of how far it looks for a gap. Yeah. So I would, something like this, I would turn it up about halfway, click out here, and now I hit delete. Yeah. And it gets rid of that. So then I've got this nice area here of inks with white in it. I can move that around and do stuff with it. And there's also 2D animation tools inside this.
That's amazing. You know what I find incredible is how all this was done in nearly an hour. But unfortunately, I think we're coming to the end of the hour for now.
Yeah, we're pretty close. It's funny. I kind of got sidetracked showing off some tools in here. I was hoping to do like a werewolf or something with this. So that being said, I'm going to throw another shameless plug for Homestead on the end here, because every time when I do a Kickstarter, or I'm involved in a Kickstarter now, every time a stretch goal is unlocked, I'll do a live stream where I'm sketching something. Yeah. And anytime folks who have backed the Kickstarter are watching that stream, if they're there to the end of it, if they're there, they pop in and they're there at the end of the stream, then I will randomly choose one of those people for them to get that original sketch with their fulfillment from the Kickstarter.
What about somebody getting the black and white of this piece you did, or maybe even the blue line?
Yeah.
This
is a throwaway, dude.
I know, but it might be.
It's a throwaway.
Okay.
So, pull that off of here. Did my camera die on me already?
Oh yeah, it did.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, that's why I've been talking.
Oh crap.
Oh, that's okay. You're doing good, sir. I'm just trying to find my. There we go.
There it goes. It's back.
That's because
it's because I use an iPhone for my camera.
iPhone.
And I had somebody had sent me a message earlier, and I'd accidentally switched over to the message that pulled it off of the app that I use, and then this it caused an issue there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So
everybody to say before we go away, Lord Les.
Oh man. Well, thanks y'all for hanging out, and thank you everybody who've watched this, for hanging out. We're planning on doing this on a weekly basis. Same, same Crom time, same Crom channel, all that jazzy stuff. So we shall see. Next week should be interesting. Next week, I think I'm going to start off with starting to work on some figure drawing and showing some things about drawing the human figure in the context of comics. And then as things move forward and we look into getting some guests and different things, there's a lot of cool stuff we got planned. So remember to come back next week. Thank you guys for watching. And until next time, that's the Comic Artists Hour on the Madness Network. So thank you.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that. I mean, I remember when you guys, it was black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
Genuinely cutting. But also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.